Now that the flour pour over has set up some, it is time to finish the bottom, which is done partly by trimming and partly by doing some creative bending of the base of the pour over. First, I trim the bottom flat and smooth and kind of round off the edges on the outside, which can be kind of sharp because of the way I remove them from the wheel. I then take a sponge and wet the entire base down, making sure it's a little bit soft and pliable, and I take a firm rib and carefully press down against the pour over, which will make the bottom bend slightly. The goal with this is to make the bottom kind of rounded so that it will fit on more different sizes of cups. I don't typically trim a foot into them, but I do on this one because it's going to have a matching pitcher, and I wanted to be able to fire this one right side up. Typically, I fire my pour-overs upside down, resting on the lip, but with these shaped pour-overs, I find that it can kind of deform them a little bit, so I want this one to be able to sit on the foot. So I trim a tiny little foot in there. I prefer my pour-overs to have that kind of bent edge at the foot because then it means that the very bottom of the pour-over actually sits kind of in the cup rather than on level with the lip, which means that if for some reason your pot isn't sitting on a completely flat surface, you're still not going to have any leaking. Anyway, after I finish trimming the foot of the pour-over, I do put in the little hole for the coffee to run through, and then I decided I wanted to alter the foot of this one as well. Since this is a floral-inspired pour-over, I wanted this bottom section of the pour-over to also have petals. So I'm just carefully pressing down with my finger supporting the edge to create a little lip, matching up with the ridges on the other part of the pour-over. I'll go all the way around here, and then I'm going to take my finger and carefully make the little sections in between the dents a little bit rounder by smoothing my finger up from the inside while lightly pressing down into the two little indents, and that lifts them just a little bit more. I have really been enjoying altering my pots after they come off of the wheel lately. It's been a fun process, something I started doing when I very first started making pots, and so it's very fun to revisit it. I did dent this one a little bit, so I spent a little bit of time kind of pressing the lip back out, and then this pour over is ready for its handle, which is going to go on next.